So the deal is done. Mike Ashley cast onto the ash heap of history at St James's Park. The king is dead. Long live the king. It's actually happened. Newcastle United are officially the richest club in the world. The Saudis, the PIF, the Public Investment Fund that has taken over, is now the dominant force in world football. What a moment it is for those Geordies. What a moment it is for the Premier League. Whatever your take on this, this is sensational. Whether you're happy, whether you're sad, whether you agree with the takeover, whether you think that it's misplaced, this is truly sensational. Newcastle United are about to change the face of football forever. So there are obviously going to be some massive changes to everything that we know about Newcastle United. I imagine that Steve Bruce will be on the rock and roll very soon. Will he make his 1000th game though? He's on 999. Will he make his 1000th game? It's due to come against Tottenham Hotspur in a couple of weeks. Will the Saudis get rid of him before then? Or will he see out his 1000th game? There's a lot to discuss, but what I wanted to do in this video was analyse realistically 5 players that Newcastle could sign and how Newcastle could shape up after the January transfer window. So the obvious thing to do here is analyse where Newcastle United need to improve. And when you look at that squad, I think the vast majority of them are going to be seen as expendable by the new regime. When you think about the players that they have, so many of them are so average that there could, in fact, be a total overhaul. With the exception of Alan Saint-Maximin, Callum Wilson, maybe Almiron, Joe Willock, presumably. With the exception of those 4, I would say that every other player has to either drastically improve and impress, or potentially start the hunt for a new club, because the standards have been elevated so much that they are now unrecognisable. When you have 400 billion in the bank, when the combined wealth of the entire Premier League isn't even close to you, the likes of Longstaff, it's just not going to be good enough, I don't think. But it's not going to all happen at once. And the people that start talking about maybe they'll sign Salah, maybe they'll sign Pogba, in the future that happens. I agree, that happens. Not specifically those 2 players, but in the future, that is the tier that Newcastle United will be operating on. But we have to face facts. Newcastle United currently need to worry only about Premier League survival. That is the fight in hand. Whatever happens, Newcastle United need to survive, and therefore they need to act in January to ensure that that task is completed. Right, if you fantasise a bit, you can see a world where Pogba, Mbappe, Fati, whoever else are actually playing for Newcastle. And I believe that in the future, and it's not too distant, by the way, the future that I'm referring to is 12 months away, but it's not yet. It isn't quite yet. So I think the players that they could consider signing now are players, firstly, that will keep them in the league. But secondly, I believe there will be a sprinkle, a soupçon of serious statement marquee signings. And when I was thinking about who could potentially be the guy, I started thinking about Barcelona. Their financial struggles must be very appealing to Newcastle. And equally, Newcastle's riches must be very appealing for the creditors of Barcelona. And I was thinking about all the players that could potentially leave. Who is the one? And I was thinking that came down for me, I think a decent sized bid for Ousmane Dembele would be very difficult to turn down. And that's exciting, isn't it? When you think about Newcastle as a club, the history of the club, Peter Beardsley, David Ginola, Faustino Esprilia, the players that the Gallagate naturally react to, I feel like this kind of fits. Alan Saint-Maximin on one wing, Ousmane Dembele on the other wing. That's exciting, and weirdly, I could potentially see that one happening. So Dembele gets the fans off their seats. That is very exciting to a Newcastle United season ticket holder. Have you seen the queues, by the way, for season tickets? Going around the block. Everyone's desperate for a season ticket now at St James's Park. So I think that Dembele is an exciting one. I can see a world where that potentially happens as well. Trying to keep this realistic, okay? So I'm not thinking of your top tier. I'm thinking one rung down and then below. And the next player that springs to mind is actually Boubacar Kamara. I think that a lot of clubs have been sniffing about him. He's been playing brilliantly for Marseille. That holding midfielder is certainly where Newcastle could do with some improvements. And I think he's got 1 year left on his contract. So a big money offer would be appealing for Marseille as well. I think this is the perfect signing for Newcastle. A little bit of steel, a little bit of grit, some fight, some determination in the middle. A statement as well, because an excellent player that people are talking about in the highest regard, and some of the biggest clubs in the world are sniffing around him. Boubacar Kamara, I can see a big landing for him actually. Now this is going to be seen as a fairly uninspiring signing, but I actually think it's the perfect one for Newcastle. Don't shout at me, don't tell me I'm missing the point, don't tell me I don't understand money, because I think I'm spot on here. Ready? James Tarkowski. Perfect. Perfect signing. Exactly what Newcastle United need. There was talk of Tarkowski going, at one point there was talk of Tarkowski going to Chelsea. Have you heard all about that, by the way? That Tarkowski was apparently, in a roundabout way, the reason that Frank Lampard got the sack. That's a story for another day. But Tarkowski was, rumoured with going to West Ham. I thought that would have been a really good move for him. I'm surprised that it didn't happen. But he's still playing for Burnley. He's still a really solid centre-half. He still knows the league inside out. And I believe that signing a player like Tarkowski virtually guarantees Newcastle United's survival. Guarantees it. And therefore, I think that this is a fairly sensible but realistic signing. If I were to say one signing happens, if I were to say out of all the players I'm mentioning, what one definitely happens, I feel like Tarkowski is a very natural fit. Now, I know I said 5, but I've got 2 players here that I think could be a very interesting option for Newcastle United. I think the allure of playing for Newcastle and earning the kind of money that you could now earn playing in the Premier League for Newcastle could be very appealing for these 2 players. I think when you hear the names as well, you'll realise that it would be the statement that Newcastle United are craving. The first one I'm going to go for is, again, I'm tapping into Barcelona because of the pitfalls of their finances. I feel like it's an opportunity for Newcastle United, and I'm going to say Sergio Roberto. I feel like he's of a level that you could get the deal done, and really good player. So versatile, and that is ideal for Newcastle. Just a player who knows what it's all about, knows what he's doing. It would be the statement that Newcastle need to make, and his versatility is such a good sell. So Sergio Roberto is one suggestion, but then the other one, I'm kind of lumping these 2 into the same point. Or maybe I should just call the video 6. I'm going to go for Franck Kessie. What do you reckon? Geezer's a baller. Playing for AC Milan, they've got their own financial troubles. I think that he could be a really interesting shout. And I'll tell you what's very interesting about the signing, if it were to happen, or even the rumoured signing of Franck Kessie. This is the point. This is what it means. This is what Newcastle United are now doing to world football. Until very recently, you were thinking Franck Kessie to replace Paul Pogba at Manchester United. And Manchester United was safe in the knowledge that Franck Kessie would want to sign for them. That was how it would go. If Franck Kessie's going to come to the Premier League, goes to Manchester United. Newcastle has upset that apple cart. They've turned it around. There was talk, maybe Tottenham, Kessie. Of course not. Why'd you go to Tottenham now? Changed everything. And there was even talk of Paris Saint-Germain. Do you see what this is? I mean, when in the video that I did about Newcastle and the signing of, the takeover, as we bid farewell to Mike Ashley, the impact that it will have on football, the serious change that is occurring in football. Football will never be the same again. Football will not look the same. The complexion of the game is totally different. And the Kessie signing, if it were to happen, would be a complete indicator as to that. Manchester United, the board at Manchester United, this is the worst thing that could happen to them. And Chelsea and Liverpool. You never want an imposter coming in. You're happy, you're happy with the set. You pull the ladder up and you compete for the league, but ultimately you preserve all of the power. Newcastle United have changed that. They have fundamentally changed the entire shape of the league. Pogba leaves Manchester United, they were probably fairly okay with that because Kessie's available, or whoever it's going to be. If they're going to be signing somebody from Italy or from France or from Spain, chances are that that player will want to sign for Manchester United, and therefore they will have their replacement set. Newcastle have seen that blueprint and changed it completely. Sort of getting a bit ahead of myself maybe, but Dubravka, Darlow, could they be improved upon? I feel like there's potential for them to... Neither one of them have managed to like really make that place their own, I don't think. Therefore, perhaps Andre Onana, his doping ban is coming to an end. Maybe they would look to sign a goalkeeper to just help to elevate the entire team. Ajax, the club that you would think that you could do business with if you decided to. So I feel like there could be some improvements at the back as well and in goal. But yeah, I'm trying to keep it realistic. I'm trying to keep it realistic. You know, I'm not saying Alisson. But Onana, I can see that one happening. What do you think? Now, this is an interesting one, again, because of the statement that it would make to Arsenal Football Club. I rate Wilson. I think Callum Wilson's a really good player, but he's injury prone. He can't keep fit. Therefore, do Newcastle United go and sign Alexander Lacazette? Do they make an approach to Arsenal to take one of their most potent and serious goal threats? In terms of the statement, it'd be quite big, wouldn't it? To take, you know, Arsenal are, despite recent form, despite recent issues, Arsenal are a colossal football club. They are a giant of a football club. If Newcastle United were to simply go and poach one of their most potent threats for a goal, I mean, nothing indicates that things aren't the same like a move like that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that, just because I rate Wilson so highly, he just can't keep fit. And Alexander Lacazette has had his problems at Arsenal, but he's also had his moments. Will score goals in the Premier League. And the team that I have just built there, that I believe could be signed in January, not all of it, but potentially the majority of it if they decided to go in that direction. The team that I've just built undeniably stay in the Premier League, and they undeniably contribute to the drastic improvements that will come to fruition next summer. So, for example, if they were to sign Lacazette, it isn't a player that they're just signing for a particular period. Lacazette can contribute to a title push next season. Wouldn't be the guy, but he would be the way Diego Costa had Loic Remy helping him out. I could see something similar happening. So what do you think of the team that I've just built? That is a team that I believe we could see at St James's Park. That is a team that I think will start to take shape. And how well do you think it will do? The question though, will Steve Bruce? It's almost irrelevant how good the team is that we build if Steve Bruce is going to be leading it. Surely he's gone. By the end of today, is Steve Bruce on the rock and roll? We'll find out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do me the honour of clicking subscribe, giving it a like, and I will see you all in the next video. Love ya.